Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland, and today I have a layout, well I have lots of layouts for Simple Stories. I'm making pages 1 to 8 and the title page for my December album for 2021 using the beautiful Holidays collection. I absolutely love this collection. I think because it has pink in it, totally has my heart. I'm starting off with a very simple title page. I normally like to keep my title pages fairly simple. Most of my December album this year is outside of the page protector, just because I like to have things that are interactive, and page protectors restrict me in that respect. So I also don't really like the look of loads of plastic. So I'm really happy with having made little file tabs to go on the sides of my pages. So for my title page, I've started off with a white background. So I've cut it to 6 by 8, and I have some lovely ephemera from the Holidays Bits and Pieces pack. I also have a December acrylic word. It's by Bramble Fox here in the UK. It's mirrored and it's really, really pretty. I just love it. So that is going to be on my title page. The numbers 2021 are from the Holidays foam stickers. They have a whole sheet of titles on one side, which are really pretty, and the other side is all the numbers, which are ideal for December albums. So I've added those under the word December. I've added pink thread around my layout 3 times. Above the word December, I have a snowman. He's actually a sticker, and then the ephemera tree and the ephemera hot chocolate mug. I've also added a little blue heart and some snowflakes, and then another blue heart down the bottom, and a bow as well. That's it from the ephemera too. So just sticking my December word in place now. So it's an acrylic, so I would either need to sew it or I've just glued it with glossy accents. So that's my super simple December title page, and I'm going to sew around the outside edge of that as well. So moving on to days 1 and 2. Although at the moment I'm showing that I have a check print on the right hand side, but actually in reality that gets switched out for red. Right now I am starting off with page 1. Now this is going to be a bit different for me because normally I would put a number on each one of my pages and make it very specific. So this would be day 1. But because I decided to go for an Advent style calendar day on day 1, because on day 1 my children get their advent calendars, which reminds me I better order them. They will have their advent calendar. So my photos on day 1 will always be of our elves arriving and the advent calendars being opened with much glee. So I thought it was really appropriate to have an advent calendar style day 1, but of course it means that I couldn't really put a number on this page because I have already got numbers 1 to 12. So anyway, I'm going to just go with it and not worry about it. So I have used the numbers paper from the Holidays collection, and I have cut up numbers 1 to 12. I've distressed the edges of all of them, and I'm going to stick them onto a piece of white cardstock. That's going to be my background. And for 3 of the numbers, I've made them into little doors that open in true advent calendar style. Now, I have just done that by creating a piece of white cardstock, which is, so these numbers are all 2 inches. So I've just cut a piece of cardstock to 2 by 4, scored in the middle to create a little door, and then I've stuck that onto the background and then the number on the front. So that's super easy. I'm wondering whether I need to add some closures, which I may well do at a later date. So onto page 2 then. I am wanting to put this section in the middle, and I've just thought that I would have a heavily patterned paper in the background because I love the pattern papers, but sometimes they're difficult to work with when you're adding lots of things. So I needed like a block of white. So I thought if I add a block of white, that means I can get the pattern on the background. So that's what I aimed to do. But I actually I ended up not that happy with the check, so swapped it out for the red. So I've made this big section in the middle. The plan is for a photo to be a square photo at the top of this section, and for the bottom section to hold some embellishments. And then I'm actually going to make it into a pocket so that I have a little insert that I can pull out of the top section for additional photos or journaling when it comes for me to add my photos. Okay, so I'm just really kind of struggling with this. It's just not looking right. That's why I've swapped it out for the red. That looks a lot better. So now I'm making the pocket by just putting a whole load of foam pads around the outside edge of 3 sides of that big section there. Just peeling those off, and then I'm going to stick that in right in the center. I'm going to add white machine stitching around the outside edge of this background. Then just put that pocket in the middle, and that will give me the a section for me to slide something in and out from the back. Now, I'm really pleased that I did this because the Christmas wishes look so much better against the red than it did the check. I think it's because there was just more colours going on with the check and the red is more solid. So that just works so much better, and I really wanted to use that Christmas wishes. I love these titles from the foam stickers from the holidays collection, so I wanted to use them. I've used them quite a lot throughout the album, and I really wanted to use them here as much as I could, so I'm glad that I managed to make that work. So Christmas wishes at the bottom. I've got 2 candy canes in place. They are both from the bits and pieces, and I need to add my number at some point, so I'll do that in a moment. But right now I'm just creating a little insert that can go behind the white panel, and I've just trimmed that down to quite narrow, and then I've got the Holly Jolly banner on the top. Now I've just stuck that in place, and I've left it not stuck at the bottom edge in case I want to add a photo or some journaling underneath it. But then it gave me the idea that actually I should have that overlapping the top, so it sits over the top of the panel like that, and I love that. I love how that looks. So I'm going to sew around sew that in place as well, I'm just really liking how that's all looking at the moment. I've also added a little flower from the sticker book to the right at the very bottom of the white panel on the right hand page. On the left side, I'm going back to the advent calendar page, and I'm just decorating some of those panels. After I've made this, I kind of thought about it in a bit more detail. I think I might need to add some closures to those panels, so they do just kind of like fall open very easily. So I may have to come back and change that, but I'll do that at the time that I add my photos. So we'll see how this page progresses when the time comes for me to add my photos. Okay, so day 2, I'm making my number. So throughout my whole album, and I've done it kind of backwards, randomly. I've worked on it in really random order this year. So I'm now coming back to make pages 1 to 8, whereas I've already made the rest of all of the other pages. So this is why I'm talking about that I've used things throughout the album already, even though I'm only on day 2. So throughout the whole album so far, I've used the numbers, the paper numbers from the Make It Merry sticker book. They were the numbers I chose. I liked the fact they were all different fonts and different colours and things. So rather than all being the same, they're all different. So I just really liked that variety. So that's what I've used. But they're paper stickers, so they needed to be mounted onto some cardstock first, and then trimmed out, and then I could raise them on foam pads and add them to my pages. So that's what I've done for my numbers. Okay, so moving on to days 3 and 4. Day 3, I'm going to keep simple because days 1 and 2 were not particularly simple, and day 4 is not simple either. So I'm going to stick with something simple for day 3. I feel that last year, my December album was crazy. Every page was interactive and had so much thought and effort go into each page. And actually, it became an overwhelming project that I didn't really enjoy that much because I constantly felt like there's something that I was working towards that I was never getting through. Do you know what I mean? Like walking through treacle or something, I think the phrase is, it just felt like it was a never-ending uphill sprint to try to get it done. And it became not enjoyable because it just took so long, and every page just took so much time and so much effort to make right. So this year I decided to strip it back slightly and make sure that I had a number of simple pages that are just fun and easy to create, lots of scope for adding photos, and just pretty little embellishments in the corner or along one edge. And the phrase stickers from the from the foam stickers enabled me to have these really lovely titles going across the top of the page. So on page 3 I have jingle all the way, which is lovely, and then it's so gorgeous in such different colors and pretty things on it already. It doesn't need much more. So jingle all the way is at the top there, and at the bottom I've just got a cluster of 3 houses from the sticker sheet and a Christmas tree from the ephemera, and then my number. And that is it. It's so simple, and I've done machine stitching around the outside edge too. So day 4 is a bit more complicated. I wanted to include, I always love shaker pockets. They are one of my favourite things to create in mini albums. And even though December Daily or my December album is not quite a mini album because it's 6 by 8, I do consider it to be definitely is a project that requires a shaker pocket somewhere. So day 4 is the day of the shaker pocket. So I have used a Simple Stories snowflake cut file to cut a snowflake out of the middle of one of my 6 by 8 base pages, and I've used white. I've backed it with a piece of acetate, and then I've backed it again with pink cardstock. But before I added the pink cardstock, I added foam pads all the way around the outside edge of the snowflake on the reverse side, of course, to create like a wall, and then I peeled all the backs off, put my sequins in, and then backed the whole page with the pink, so the snowflake looks pink. So it's a really simple shaker pocket. It's really lovely. I'm so happy with how it turned out. The only problem was it was a little bit pale and didn't show up perfectly. So I decided to go around the outside edge of the snowflake on the front side with a black pen to create a line to just give it a bit more definition. So I'm glad I did that. It makes it stand out much better. So I have this lovely snowflake shaker. The number 4, I have done the same Make It Merry stickers from the sticker book, and I have cut that on, I've stuck that onto a piece of card and trimmed that out, and then I have mounted it onto a piece of glitter paper that I've punched with a circle punch. I've put Deck the Horse down the bottom. That's a piece of ephemera, and then I've just added some enamel dots and a little snow globe shaker puffy sticker on the number 4. So now the question is, where will my photo go on this page? Well, that's a really good question. It's really a feature page, so it doesn't really have anywhere for the photo to go. So I'm going to deal with that by creating another feature page on the reverse. So page 5 is going to be this scene from the Holidays 6 by 8 paper pad. I came across this when I was making my other layouts for this album, and I just loved it but didn't know what to do with it. So I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks about what can I do with this page, and I decided to make a feature page from it. So what I'm doing is I am adding details to the scene but keeping it as it is. So I'm stitching around all the outside of all the details. So that's the house, the roof, the trees, the windowsills, the path, Santa, and his sack. And then I'm also going to add glitter. Now, I'll show you how I do that in just a moment. So right now I'm just doing some stitching. I won't make you watch me do all of it. I went and sat and watched a movie with my daughter and sat and did all the stitching in one evening. It's a really, really lovely feature page, and I'm so pleased that I made the effort to do this. But having a feature page on day 4 and on day 5 means that there's nowhere to put photos on day 4 or day 5. So the way I'm going to get around that is by sandwiching the 2 layouts together, because they are back to back, and stitching around 3 sides but leaving the right hand edge open, and then I can put in a full size, not quite full size, slightly smaller piece of white card, and that is going to be for my photos and my journaling. At the moment that piece of white card is completely blank. I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, and I will make that decision when I come to actually complete the album once I add my photos. but it's definitely, there is room there for both day 4 and day 5 for me to add photos. Okay, so this is several hours later, and I have done all of my stitching, and now I just need to add in some glitter. So I've just got my my glue, my narrow glue, and I'm just adding in lots of glitter. Lots of glue onto all the white sections. Now I'm not going to do Santa's beard, but I'm going to do all the snow drops on the top. I've got glitter on top of the trees. I've got glitter on top of the house and around the path. Yeah, so and now I'm just going to shake glitter all over the whole page, it's going to look awesome. I'm going to shake it off in just a moment, and you'll be able to see how glittery and beautiful this looks. I'm a massive fan of loose glitter like this. I just think it's so sparkly and so pretty. It's a glitter I've had for years and years and years. It's one massive bottle and just never ever seems to run out. And it is just the sparkliest glitter ever. I'm not sure how well you can see it on the screen, but in real life it just looks so adorable. It's one of my favourite pages of my whole album. I'm so pleased I did it. So on the right hand side, so this is day 6. I am going to go with circles. Circles is a theme that has appeared throughout my whole album this year. I really like circles. I've always loved circles, to be fair. Well, actually, many years ago, I used to hate circles. I used to hate large circles on layouts. But now I love them, and I use them in smaller sizes as well a lot. So I'm pleased that I finally got over my circles phobia. That was we're talking like 10 years ago when I didn't like large circles. Anyway, so on the right hand side of the page, I'm going to add 3 large circles. I've cut them with metal dies, and then I've cut a smaller section to go in the middle one. That's going to be my photo. I decided that I needed to embellish my little scene on the left a bit more. So I pulled out some ephemera that goes well with this scene. So ho, ho, ho is obviously perfect for Santa. I've already need to add my number, and I've got some snowflakes that I've added in place as well. Oh, there's the pocket. I'm showing you how that I've made that pocket there. I've done all the stitching now, so that I can finish embellishing and getting that layout complete. Wanted to add a couple of, or 3 little stickers of presents. So the stickers on the sticker sheet were too big, and in the ephemera pack too. So I found some teeny tiny little gifts or presents from the holidays sticker book. So again, they're paper stickers, so I wanted to make them a bit more sturdy. So I stuck them to some white card and then have fussy cut them out. They are ideal size for Santa to be holding in this scene. I thought about putting them in his sack, but actually it looked better in front. So 3 little presents there being held by Santa, or maybe he's just leaving them outside the house. And then my number is the number 5 from the Make It Merry sticker book, mounted onto card and cut out. It's then raised on foam pads and stuck on a glitter paper circle that I punched with a circle punch. I've also added a little holly leaf sticker or ephemera to the number, and then I add a little tiny puffy sticker on top as well. So lots of really super adorably cute details on that page. I just love it. I just love how it turned out. It's so awesome. Definitely my favourite page, and I'm so pleased that I've got to use this scene because I really loved it when I first saw it and was just like, oh, I don't know what to do with it, but it's so adorable, and I'm so pleased that I used it. Okay, so moving on to page 6. Like I said, I've got my 3 circles. I'm just going to stick those in place, and then I'm going to chop off the overhangs from the top and the bottom of the page. They're on the Ho 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 pink paper, which is one of my favourite papers from this paper collection. And now I just need to embellish the circles. So I liked the idea of bringing in the gifts that are from the other side of the paper as well. So I've pulled those through. All 3 of them are from the ephemera, the bits and pieces. So it's good that they are mirrored because they're with Santa as well, and then they're on the right hand side too. So it just feels like it all kind of brings it together and goes well together. Just above, or just at the bottom of the photo is going to be my number 6. That is the sticker from the Make It Merry sticker book, which I've mounted onto card and cut out, and then raised it on foam pads on top of a glitter circle. I've added some flowers around there as well. At the top, I've added some flowers from the ephemera. Sorry, it's not ephemera, is it? It's called Bits and Pieces. And some stickers too. And then I've got 2 candy canes, and then Merry and Bright. That is from the Bits and Pieces as well. So that page on the right-hand side came together pretty well. I've added page tabs to the the left-hand side. That will be how it goes into my binder. Like I said, most of these things are outside of the page protector this year, just because that's just what's making me happy. So I'm going for that. Definitely going to go for that. So that is page 5 and page 6. Pretty much complete. Until I know what's going on page 7, on the reverse of page 6, I won't do anything with my tabs until I close those up properly. And I'm going to add stitching around the outside edge of the pink cardstock on that page. Yeah, it's looking lovely. So now I'm just going to make the little insert that's going to go in between pages 4 and 5 in the pocket. So I had to trim it down quite a bit in order to fit. And then I'm going to add a little page tab just to the top corner of that insert, and a piece of ribbon, so I can, it's obvious that something needs to be pulled out. So that is all that's going on in there. And then I will deal with that little layout itself as a separate layout when I come to add my photos on day 4 and day 5. Okay, so moving on to day 7 and 8, which is the last one in this little series that I'm doing for you today. I have on the left, like I said, trying to strip it back and not be too complicated, and I've just made a whole bunch of complicated pages with days 4 and 5. So stripping it back for pages 7 and 8. Page 7, I wanted to bring in that lovely crosshatch check pattern. I just love it. So therefore I've added a what's going to be a full page photo insert, although it won't be full page size because I've trimmed it down a bit so that I can still show off the check pattern around the edge. So my photo should be about 5.5 by 7.5. I'll have to figure out how to print it at that size, but I'm pretty good at that kind of thing, so I'll figure that out later. So I've just put a photo placeholder in place at the moment, and I'm stitching around the outside edge too. And then I just want to make little embellishment clusters to go on page 7 that can be tacked in place for now, and then I can add later on properly. I've got Santa in the bottom corner. I've got the number 7, which is the number I'm using. I'm going to come back and finish off those embellishments later. Day 8, I'm now adding a little strip of paper at the top there. I love that red print with the lime green holly leaves on. I'm adding a photo placeholder for 6x4 sized. And then my idea is that I'm going to create like a strip of stockings or things that are hanging down from the bottom edge of the photo. So I've got some stockings. They are ephemera or from the Bits and Pieces. I've got the baubles from the ephemera pack as well, or the Bits and Pieces pack. I've got my number, which is mounted onto card and trimmed out and then put onto a circular disc that I cut out from glitter paper. And those are all just going to be kind of arranged along that bottom edge. They are just going to be hanging down from the bottom edge of the photo. So I have to be careful when I stick these in place because I need to be able to remove the photo placeholder and add an actual photo at some point. So I'm just making sure that they're just tacked in place along the bottom, and therefore I can easily tack my photo just in the top edge of those. Just coming back to add a few more bits to the bottom section of the day 7. So I'm just going to add a little hot chocolate piece of ephemera from the Bits and Pieces. I've got a puffy sticker, and I'm just going to make sure they're all stuck together on the back. And then I can attach that or tack that to my page in one piece, and then I can remove that later and decide exactly where it's going to go on my page once my photo is ready and in place. I'm also going to put a little Christmas stocking at the My little boy has just arrived home. Can you hear him? Very enthusiastically saying hello to me. So anyway, I have just put a little banner at the top of page 8 that says Jingle All the Way, raising that on foam pads. Again, being careful where to add my adhesive to, so that I can easily tuck my photo in. Then, yeah, that's page 8 finished, I think. And then I'm just going to add my embellishment clusters at the bottom of page 7. And then I say I wanted to bring in a Christmas stocking because I had loads of stockings on page 8. So I'm just going to tack that in place at the top there and hopefully add that to my photo if my photo allows once it is complete. Okay, so that is pages 7 and 8 all finished. That concludes my base pages for today using Holidays. So here are a few close-up images of all of the pages I have made today. So I will put more on them and I will add more things to them when it is time to add my photos. Really, my base pages are kind of jumping off points. They're so that I've done most of the work before it's time to add my photos. But there will be some more to do when it comes to adding my photos, of course. So yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed these pages. I really enjoyed making them. I love my album this year. It's simple but wonderful. Just can't wait for December to start and for me to start adding photos. So thank you very much for joining me. That was Nikki Rowland for Simple Stories using Holidays.